Okay, shalom. Shalom. Okay, first and foremost, like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Rakakadash. Okay, double honors to our apostles, great millstone, our elders of GMS. Okay, and salutation, peace, and blessings to the fellow laborers, the sincere brethren of the children of Israel that are out there on those streets, who are faith-based. Okay, Israelite foreigners, and you women, you aqua as well, just praying to escape this world, to escape these pollutions, to escape these devils, these damn devils who find pleasure in persecuting the poor and needy, the children of Israel. Okay, what I have here is, I mentioned it before in a previous video, which this helps bring to light this devil and their works through these years. It's a very good video. I recommend everybody watch this video, man. It's on Breakthrough News. Breakthrough News, and really, if you go subscribe to Breakthrough News, you'll find a lot of information on how they exposing the wicked. I mean, of course, they're not going to come out and say who by name and the true nationalities and things like that, but they actually bring to light Babylon the Great and the wickedness of Babylon the Great. All right. You know, watching this video, really what comes to mind with me is just the prayers in Psalms, the different prayers in Psalms, you know, for our beloved brother David, you know, the Psalms, the prayers he's sending out to the Most High against this devil, man, which he refers to as the wicked. He constantly is referring to him as the wicked, you know, the wicked in his pride, the wicked boasteth, the wicked, man. And again, watch this video through Breakthrough News. You can see the name of U.S. trains with 25 countries to invade residential areas of enemies with Abby Martin. That's Abby Martin's the woman that's been interviewed, who's all smiles in the interview. I mean, it's just showing you these people don't really know what's really going on, man. And they don't really know what they're up against. You know, these people are being interviewed, and again, they're all smiles, and they're looking to be the next best hot thing in on social media and on television in the world, period. You know, not knowing their shining is their light that they're shining with is about to be put out. You know, everything like I said, everything right now is all fun and games until the heat is turned up. And that's what's about to be happen is the heat is going to be turned up on this world. And again, I'm going to point out, like I said, all the smiles. And when these matters like this are serious, man, it ain't none of this about a joke, which you can see these niggas in this world. Everything is funny, man. Everything is a joke and playing around and foolery, you know? And here we got serious matters taking place, and Jake is out there still looking to laugh and looking to get a laugh. You know, so I'm gonna let some of this video play, and then I'll come back with a couple of scriptures. Again, so we filter everything through the scriptures, everything that's happening, everything in the news, and you know, just we filter it through the scriptures, man. You know, which helps gives you an understanding of the times we're living in, pretty much. You know, and the time we're living in is the time, the destruction and the end of our enemy ruling. You know, so let me let some of this play and then pause, and you know how we do it. We go back and forth. You know.
We want to talk about, well, a number of different things, but primarily the many ways that the Pentagon and the military war machine here in the United States is just destroying the earth. So we are very, very honored to be joined by Abby Martin, journalist and host of the Empire Files. Abby, thank you so much for being back with us.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Anytime. And I know many of our fans follow the Empire Files, so some people probably know you were recently at RIMPAC. I know it's a big military, exercise or whatever they call those things these days. But maybe you can certainly tell me more about what RIMPAC is and what took you there to observe this bacchanal there from the U.S. military.
And listen closely. Just listen. And she's tearing the Babylonian military a new asshole, man. And you want to speak about how these devils seek to please the poor. Yeah.
Well, it's all part of our reporting on Earth's Greatest Enemy. This is a film about the environmental impact.
Did you hear that? She said Earth's greatest enemy. It's like I don't want to go back too far.
Or whatever they call those things these days. But maybe you can certainly tell me more about what RIMPAC is and what took you there to observe this bacchanal there from the U.S. military.
Well, it's all part of our reporting on Earth's Greatest Enemy. This is a film about the environmental impact of the U.S. military. I think a lot of us agree that environmental collapse and climate change are the biggest threats facing not only our species, but a lot of life on Earth. A lot of...
I'm looking to get this film, whatever she's referring to.
Scientists on the issue of climate change are very conservative in their estimates because they don't want to be seen as political. So even the most conservative estimates are pretty dire here. But there's a huge gap in the discussion of the environmental movement that links the U.S. military as the world's largest institutional polluter, the world's largest consumer of fossil fuels. And it's such a huge, broad topic that encompasses so many facets. I mean, Superfund sites of toxic dumping, burn pits, chemical runoff, just the environmental destruction of warfare, and obviously bases, the existence of nearly 1,000 bases around the world.
Whew. That's heavy. Let me grab me a scripture here. Remember, it's the scriptures, bro. Jeremiah 51. Oh, let me see where the scripture is here. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh shall behold, I will raise up against Babylon, against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. I'm looking for a specific scripture though. That's the end of this toilet. It's the end of this toilet that's speaking of. By thermonuclear missiles. Against him that bendeth, let the archers bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigading, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Let me get to my point though. Let me get the scriptures. I just know it's in the 51 here. Flee out of them. Reading a lot of this would be good, but there's a point I want in this. All this is good. If it's speaking about the destruction of this toilet America, man, then it's all good to read. But, like I said, I'm not trying to make this too long of a video. I just want to give you the information, the precept, and move on, Again, it's speaking about the destruction of this toilet, man. This toilet. I refer to this place as a toilet a lot, because that's what it is, man. It's full of shit. It's full of shit. It might be a 20-something, though. Here we go. It's coming. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. That's what I wanted. Jeremiah 51:25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, said the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. All right? Beautiful scripture, beautiful scripture. Again, this is Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, speaking about the destruction of this place, man. How can you not love these scriptures, man, when it stresses the destruction of our enemy? All right? Again, watch this on your own, but I'll let it play a little. Then I'm going to dive back into these scriptures again.
And it's such a huge, broad topic that encompasses so many facets. I mean, Superfund sites of toxic dumping, burn pits, chemical runoff, just the environmental destruction of warfare, and obviously bases, the existence of nearly 1,000 bases around the world. So it's a lot. And RIMPAC fits into this because it's the largest war games in the world, overseen by the United States military, that conducts these exercises with 25 other countries. And every 2 years, they're conducted off the coast of Hawaii, already a very militarized place, heavily occupied by the U.S. military, environmentally, destroyed pretty much. Hundreds of toxic sites, several Superfund sites. So it already is kind of putting salt in the wound to even host these off the coast of what Hawaiians consider as like a legally occupied land in itself. But basically, U.S. naval officials claim that these massive war games that are all about, enforcing an international rules-based order, which I find really fascinating considering the allies that are involved in this, including Israel, which is like, why on earth is Israel participating in these war games? Basically, it's just power projection, right? It's just basically asserting that the United States, as well as all of these other kind of colonial powers, own this huge region of the world. And this year was the largest year. It kind of scaled back during COVID, and it had 25,000 military personnel from all over the world, and just dozens and dozens of these assault ships, submarines, helicopters, and they use live ammunition, missiles, bombs, and I can go on and on about how destructive these are to the environment, but that is why we went to cover them, because there's so little coverage that is critical about what they are doing over there.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, so you can see right here that this film that she's coming out with is called Earth's Greatest Enemy. Earth's Greatest Enemy, that's what it's called. And I'll keep my eye out for it. So I'll share it with the family, share it with the Akim, But again, and again, the rest of the video is still fire. It's all fire, man. It's all fire. So let me go back to these scriptures here. Okay, Revelation 11 and 18. Is it Revelation? In the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Okay. And destroy them which destroy the earth. Jeremiah 51. But the main precept was in 25 here. Okay. You can go down to 1. And this is the prayer we're sending up. These are prayers that we're sending up. I'm not saying that 51 is a prayer. These are prophecies. But this is, I'm speaking of Psalms, prayers, the prayers that David's sending up. There's these same Psalms, these same prayers that we're sending up. The destruction of the wicked, man. You know, which Psalms 35 here. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Psalms 10. Let me grab Psalms 35. Let's see what's in here. Psalm of David. Plead my cause, O Yahweh, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take over shield and buckler and stand up for my help. Draw out also the spear and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angels of the Lord chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angels of the Lord persecute them. And this is a prayer, man. This is a reward for the wicked, this prayer that we're sending up. Because the wicked, this is their, like the scripture says, since thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. This is what they're getting in return. This is their reward this is the reward of the wicked. You know? We're praying to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and he's going to answer our prayers. Okay? So him answering our prayer, he's going to leave them confounded. He's going to, again, let them be turned back and brought to confusion. These devils going to be brought to confusion. Again, let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angels of the Lord chase them. This is all curses that's going to turn upon the wicked. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angels of the Lord persecute them. This is all going to turn against the wicked. You know? What's the scripture I'm thinking of? The Most High is not in all their thoughts. I don't remember what scripture that is. Could it be 10? Is it 10? Verse 4, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are all. I'm going to come back to this. Let's get back to this 35. Let destruction come upon him as unawares, and let his net that he have hid catch him himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. That goes right along with he who liveth to see the downfall of his enemy, the destruction of his enemy. You know? Not like these simple-minded niggas that's looking for the next laugh, that's looking to make their enemy laugh so they can shuck and jive right along with the enemy so the enemy will accept them. Trust believe that these damn devils love seeing a shucking and driving silly nigga, man. They take pleasure in seeing silly ass niggas, man. You know? These niggas gonna get caught out there, like I said, I always say, they gonna get caught out there with their pants down. You know? Looking for the next laugh. You see the rise of these what do you call them? These pranks, you know? And there's been examples of these people that a few that lost their lives in the midst of these pranks. That's right along with the wicked, man. The wicked of our people. That's, hey, these curses is being thrown up against them as well. You know? Stupid, man. Just stupid. It says 73. Him that destroyed the earth. What did it say? And should it destroy them, was destroy the earth.
Abby, I was listening to, you did an episode about this, and I was listening to part of it, and it was interesting just the access you got and also the way you were treated, which I know is going to be, featured in your film. I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like. I know you also got to ask a question to the Secretary of the Navy, so I'm excited to see what that looked like. You've been asking lots of cool questions to very important people recently, and doing quite a good job at that. But I wanted to ask about the sort of geopolitical context here, because, as it was framed, this is not directed at any country, but Empire Files released this footage you guys got of these sort of I don't know if it was a mock operation in a mock village taking place, but in that there seemed to be soldiers going into a house that had pictures of Kim Jong-un. So clearly this was, directed at North Korea. But on top of that, this is also as a part of a very anti-China coalition. I mean, the fact that it was taking place in the Pacific, I think, is very symbolic. So I guess, can you talk a little bit about the geopolitical context here? Was China discussed? Was the sort of anti-China alliance and this escalation of Cold War against China present in the war games as far as you saw?
Yeah, first I want to address your first point because it's really interesting in terms of geopolitical forces because, I was the only critical journalist there. There was very little people there covering the largest war games in the world, and the only other U.S. reporters there were kind of stenographers for the military-industrial complex. So reporters for Defense One, covering how cool the systems and tech was of these ships and operations. And then the other half of the contingent of press were Taiwanese media. And so they were very, very insistent on currying favor with Taiwan, letting in Taiwanese media. Taiwan has been invited for the first time in the NDAA, actually. Congress extended the invitation for Taiwan to participate in RIMPAC. China amazingly did participate in 2014 and 2016 only because the United States wanted them to stop militarizing the South China Sea. And then they basically realized it was better to just kind of block them off and just to position, this kind of imperialist bloc against China. So as we saw the Asia pivot reinforced, of course, especially exacerbated during the Trump administration, that's when we saw China become the main focal point here for these war games. Of course, officials will say over and over again, no, this isn't about any one country, but admirals will, go off the record or go off the cuff rather at many press conferences and basically admit that all of this is simulating and posturing toward China's aggressive maneuvers that they're going to take Taiwan in the next 10 years. So all of this is basically mock drills and operations to prevent that happening. And
okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. Listen to the rest on your own. I might play some more though, but listen to the rest on your own though. But you can see that Babylon wants to extend their bloodshed. They want to extend war. Just like if you want to go back to the ancient Roman Empire, how the ancient Roman Empire was ultimately defeated because it was stretched thin. Its monetary was depleted. Which is the same, everything about the ancient Roman Empire is reflecting everything that's going on now. What's going on now is reflecting what happened back then. Again, with the monetary, how their currency was it was devalued. It was devalued. Okay, in the same way with its military, it was stretched thin. And you can see those same similarities going on now, which again is just going to head to the destruction of this place, man. Inflation, super hyperinflation, military's been positioned in various different parts of the world, getting ready for war. I mean, come on, this place really is that prideful that it in its mind it can take it. They really believe that they can take on the world, and not even knowing that the world, these other world militaries, man, they're more thinking more modern and more modern in a sense that missiles is coming to play. And that's the foolish pride of these Americans, man. They're thinking that they're not even thinking these missiles. So it's just pride. They're just driven by pride, man. Again, the nations are saying that if you become weak as we, you know, these nations they have missiles, man, which pretty much can flatten those battleships and warships, man, and they have missile defense systems that'll take all those American jets up out of the sky, man. And you know, then you can add on top of that when when Yahweh Shai comes with the angels, and how the chariots going to destroy a lot of those. Actually, it's going to pretty much vaporize the armies, man, as a whole. It's going to, man, this is the end of this place. This is literally the end of this place, man. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. Okay, what was that? Psalms, the end of this damn devil and his rule. Psalms 10, 51. Psalms 10, slack it. Psalms 10. The wicked in his pride does persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasted in his heart desire, and blessed the covetous, and blessed the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above, out of his sight. So he's not even thinking that an end is coming. He's not even considering it, you know. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. So he's just going to be a terror. And that's what we're witnessing, man. He's going around the whole world puffing at the armies. And now you got that old hoe in Pelosi. You have her, and she just landed in the east, and in the middle of the damn night. They're puffing at the enemies, man. Remember, they're trying to instigate more war. They're trying to make the pockets of these people that are running what you call the military industrial complex, man. That's what it's all about. The hell with the people. You know, what's the same thing that they've been doing. It's just continuing on, you know. And now the American people want to start crying because they're at a disadvantage, and now they're seeing things not working out as it used to, you know, as it used to, you know. Go in, take what they want, the media behind it. You know, we had to go bring democracy, peace to these people. Now the American people seeing that they're at a disadvantage, now they want to cry, we don't want war. You know, now they want to cry about their elected officials. This is actually a joke, man. It's actually funny as hell if you look at it, man. Now that they're seeing that these sanctions are turning against them, now they want to start crying. But when none of these things were turning back to the American, when all these things when it didn't affect the American people, you know, they kept their mouths shut. They turned a blind eye, you know, as if it wasn't happening in the world. You know what I mean? This is actually kind of funny, man. They're receiving their reward. You know, it says, he puffeth at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. And he said he shall never be in adversity. Yeah, okay. It's going down, man. It's going down. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So this devil gotta go, man. This devil has to go. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. This is referring to the Edomites. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are probably set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself as that the poor may fall by his strong ones. You see, that's why, the scripture said, and speaking to you, Jakes, never to trust thine enemy, never to trust thine enemy. And that's literal, never to trust thine enemy, man. So you won't fall into this trap here. He croucheth and humbling himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He cried and humbled himself. He comes speaking for, he has solutions for you. He has the solutions to your problems. And that's just a trap. He has said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it. And this is what this devil thinks. That's why you're seeing things progressively getting worse and worse and worse. Spiritually, morally, things are getting worse and worse. And it's how it's just, oh man, nothing's never happened. Nothing's going to happen. This is what this devil thinks in his mind. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh, O power, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn the Most High? He has said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. So wherefore doth the wicked contemn? Let's go to the word contemn. To spurn, contemn, despise, abhor. Now, when we're out there on those highways and the byways, and the videos, period, that's been put up, how do you think that these devils are looking at it? That's how they look at it. Because we're prophesying the destruction. We're prophesying the coming of a new world where the righteousness is going to rule. He looking at that like, what? People are crazy, man. Okay, wherefore doth the wicked contemn the Most High? He has said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. Find none. That's Job. This devil gonna be chased out of the world like a bad dream. I'm gonna go get that after this. Let me read this. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. Let me grab that. Is that Job 20? Job 18? Let me grab Job 18. Job 18:10. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance, there it is, his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the streets. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Surely are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not the Most High. Destruction. Hey, what did it say? Destroyeth him, and destroyeth them, and should us destroy them which destroy the earth. They're up out of here, man. And again, so this is the video here. Again, watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. Breakthrough News is called U.S. Trains with 25 Countries to Invade Rituals and Errors of Enemies with Abby Martin. So, we're ready to fight till next time, Lord willing. Shalom.